Welcome to another episode of Final Whistle ATX. My name is Wyatt. This is Harley, and I'm here with Derek Ensign, a member of Los Verdes supporters group.
Yeah.
And we are at B.D. Riley's. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Celebrating an Austin FC win.
Yeah, thanks
Cheers,
for having me
guys.
on, y'all.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it.
for coming, Derek. We appreciate
Yeah,
it, man.
absolutely.
And it's a good time to do it as well after a big win.
Yeah, feeling good.
There's nothing better than sitting at B.D. Riley's, drinking a beer, talking about an Austin FC win. And I think we should get right into that because it's been a while since we felt so much positivity. So what, were you at the game?
Yeah. We were at the game, and sometimes people are like, "Oh, we don't even get to see the goals, like if they're on the other end." But down in the south end, the supporter section, we had two beautiful goals right in front of us, and it was amazing.
Man,
it was so good because I was most recently there for the 4-3 loss to San Jose, and that was all the other goals
All
down
on
that
the
end.
end, yep.
So yeah, it was cool to see both goals in the win over the Galaxy come right in front of the fans. Musa Jite looking great.
Yes.
Everything that we've been wanting. This was a really complete performance. Really cool to see.
I was going to say, I think the biggest takeaway has to be Musa.
Yeah.
I mean, watching from TV is one thing, but when you're watching it there, like, can you tell? Because on TV, it's blatantly obvious. This guy's massive. He's strong, and he plays like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that obvious when you're seeing it in person?
Oh yeah, definitely. He definitely, I think, dwarfed some of the defenders and all that around him. But yeah, he brought his energy, his presence last night, and made all the difference for us, I think.
How surprised were you that they didn't sub him off at halftime?
You know what? I'm really glad they didn't.
I know.
That goal ended up being really, really huge. I think he's still picking up match fitness. It might still be a while until he's like fully there. But we had our good friend Adrian Healy on the show last week. Best friend of the show, I would say. Derek, you've still got some way to go, but you can just be our good friend for now.
That's fine.
Adrian's been on twice, so you're on your second appearance.
All right,
You can be there. And Adrian was saying that it's almost a little bit of a shame that just as Jite is really building up and becoming an integral part of this team, the season's winding down and it's a little bit too late. But hey, it's really promising. He's a young guy. It bodes really well for next season, I think, Wyatt.
It was such a unique experience with him because it took him so long to get here, and it wasn't through any fault of his own that we're also in the middle of a pandemic. So when he does get here, it's not like he can step off the plane and start playing right away. But I think his fitness is going up, and it is a shame that by the time he gets to that place where he's comfortable, we're going to be looking at an off season.
Yeah, and on the subject of the team gelling as well, Driussi just feels like he's looking better and better every game. I think he's the best player on the team.
Yeah.
Give him an off season to get even more welcomed into this community and into this team.
Yeah.
He just looks like a great player, and I know that's something that's evident when you're in the stands as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with Musa in there, we've been able to just shift around the lineup. So many more people are in their most natural positions finally.
Yes.
Because we've been missing that 9 all season, and we
were
Cecilio
playing with
back on the
Driussi
wing
up top in the beginning, and he was fine up there, but I think he's really settled in the midfield for sure.
Yeah, and I think it was cool to see Pochettino at that holding midfield position for the first time, and you can see some of his vision and passing skill on display last night too.
And we got to shout out Mackenzie Gaines as well.
Oh,
I don't think we
absolutely.
talked about him much on this show because he signed and then he was injured straight away and he didn't really play that much, but comes on and what an impact, and he gets that goal, and it really felt like this big momentous moment. The first Austinite to score for Austin FC. How cool is that?
Speaking of B.D. Riley's, that man is never going to have to buy a drink again in this city. After he's just got to wear green wherever he goes.
Let's save it for like a playoff goal maybe,
That's
or like
true.
a last-minute winner before we go
That's
that far.
true.
But I
That's
like the
true.
optimism.
Yeah.
So you've been to a lot more games than I haven't been to any games this year. You both have been to more than I have. But speaking of Musa being up top, allowing players to play in their natural positions, I want to talk about Cecilio. What is it like seeing him go down in person? Is it more frustrating than on TV, or is it?
I think yes. Like part of the times you don't know what's happening, right? Like last night, I remember I think there was a penalty shout in the first half where he went down, and my initial reaction was like, oh yeah, it was a penalty, and I saw on TV, I was like, no, it wasn't.
That's the thing is it seems like he looks for contact. More than he's actually looking to make it. Not all the time, but yesterday that play you're talking about seemed like he was looking for contact there.
I have to explain this to you. It's actually a very specific science if we can get into
Let's
it.
hear it, yeah.
Which is that when
I love science talk with Harley.
Science talk with Harley. Buckle in, boys. So when you're watching at home on the TV, it's always a dive and it's always, get up, Cecilio.
Yeah.
And when you're in the stadium, every time it's a foul. And it's just a coincidence. But every time you're there, every single time when he goes down, it's a foul, it's a penalty. It's just the way it is.
You can hear it. You can hear it through the TV too. The fans are like, "Are you serious? Are you not watching the same game we're watching?" And from the TV with our beer in our hand, we're like, "What are these crazy fans talking about?" But,
Speaking of crazy fans,
exactly, great.
Speaking of crazy fans, let's get into Los Verdes talk. That's why we have you here, Derek.
Yeah.
We've been wanting to get you here for a while. We're super happy to have you here. We want to know more about Los Verdes. We know who you guys are. We know about all the noise that you make and the presence that you have in the stands, off the field.
Yeah.
How did this thing get started? How did you get involved with it? Just tell us the Los Verdes story.
For sure. Yeah. I think a lot of us got to know each other through, I wouldn't say a lot, but some of the initial, founding members got to know each other through the process of getting a team here, through the MLS ATX process, meeting people at City Hall, which who knew that's where you're going to build a supporters group.
I
It's
know.
4 a.m. city council meetings, but we bonded over that. But anyway.
That's dedication, though. I'll say
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you do find out who the craziest people are when you're at a city hall at 4 a.m. on a weekday. But
For a team that's not here
for
yet.
a team doesn't exist. Yeah. So yeah, met a lot of folks through that, and it was really honestly, kind of at the beginning of the pandemic. I think it was April or May of last year when we officially got started, and I think people were looking for community. They were looking for something to do with their time. They're sitting at home, and a lot of it last year, was built online, and started out with a couple hundred people pretty soon, and then it's grown to almost 2,000 now members. And I mean, it's a lot of fun. We have a Slack channel with probably 100 different channels where people are talking about their favorite beers or sharing pictures of their pets, and of course they're chatting through the games and all that. So that's where a lot of the community is. But yeah, our motto is Fútbol y Comunidad, and it's really important to us that we're more than just fans, but we're also doing things for each other and for the community. And we've raised about a little over $20,000 in money for charity, and that's something we want to grow in and learn, find ways to volunteer together in the community and all that stuff.
I'm really glad that you're using those words, community and comunidad, and I know that's a huge part of Los Verdes, because I think a lot of people think of soccer fans and you get images of like drunk men or back in the day fighting and stuff like that. I know this stuff that Austin FC and Los Verdes are clearly not associated with at all. And then in contrast, you have you guys, and maybe you could say like the modern soccer fan, where it's all about being part of that community and forging these links between people and sharing pictures of your pets on Slack and things like that.
Yeah.
So tell us more about how the supporter group works and what it means to be part of a supporter group.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only requirement is that you're passionate about the club, and it doesn't matter if you're a brand new soccer fan, like many of us are, and many people in the city are, or you've been watching some third division team in some obscure league or something for years to come. So it's like I think. Yeah, that's the prereq, and then what we want to do in the stadium is have our voice heard for 90 plus minutes. We don't stop, and we express ourselves through music, singing along with La Murga de Austin, the band that kind of is the soundtrack of the sports section. And we'll paint banners, we'll paint tifo together, and that's just an expression of who we are as Austinites and as football supporters.
That's awesome, and I was looking at the website. I've looked at the website a lot because I've thought about joining, and I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I might have to do it. But it was so cool to see that it's like we were talking about it before. It's like you got the people who handle the marketing, the people who handle the legal issues, the people who handle merchandising, and the people who handle PR or whatever it may be. It's like it's a whole. It's bigger than Austin FC. It's such a community, and so whether you win or whether you lose, it's like you're with family, and I think that's so cool. And I also didn't know about the tifos.
Yeah,
did I pronounce that right?
Tifos,
right?
Tifos.
Yeah, that's right.
I shouldn't even be talking about it.
No.
But that's so cool that like you guys actually design them yourselves.
Oh yeah.
Where do you find the artists?
Sorry,
No, you're fine.
I totally cut you off there. I want to piggyback on what he's saying. Like,
Sure.
where do you find the artists? And also that very first one for the home game where you guys unveil this enormous tifo.
Yeah.
What a moment that was to like announce Los Verdes.
That was perfect. It
Yeah,
was.
it really. It's definitely one of our favorite things, and honoring Selena last night was really special for a lot of us. And we sing a rendition of her song with the band. and somos el equipo de las 5-12 is what the
Hasta la muerte.
hasta la muerte. That's right, until death. We're the of the team of 512 and to connect her music, which means so much in Texas and to Tejanos and to Latinos all over the U.S. and Latin America to our community. It was a very special moment, celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month as well. But yeah, sorry, I got all excited and off track there with some of the original questions.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
So the first one, the first TIFO,
Yes.
where you bring out everything, and you've got the Barton Springs salamander
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
kinds of stuff. Like, what? How long did that? I want to know more about that process.
Must have been so much thought that went into that.
Yeah. How many people? How long did that take?
Yeah, we really had that was something we were talking about, brainstorming about for a year, I would say, leading up to that first game.
Wow.
And we made some connections with some local artists who are, excited, soccer fans, and were excited about the team as much as we were. Specifically, Luis, his tag is Uluang, Uloang, if you want to give him a follow on Instagram. And Something Cool Studios is part of the studio that he helped found with several other awesome artists. And he for the first TIFO, he was the one that designed that and did a lot of the spray paint work. But for everybody else involved, like me, who has zero artistic ability, basically we have an outline, spray painted by an artist, and then we set up kind of a paint by numbers for the rest of the TIFO. So I want to say that first TIFO, we probably had about 300 different volunteers help paint that over a month. And the Salina TIFO, maybe 200 people over 2 weeks or so went into it. And so, yeah, we're kind of figuring it out as we go. The first one took a long time to figure it out and to settle on that, specific final design and all that.
That's going to be remembered forever, though.
Oh, absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We wanted to do it big.
It's one of the key pictures when you think of Austin FC, especially that first opening game.
Yeah.
It's the thing you look at.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think that's like I love that because I'm thinking about like the key like images of this season, and it's for me it's probably like the one of John Gallagher celebrating after the first Q2 goal, and then it's Diego flashing the LV in Colorado, and then it's the TIFO and it's the stadium, and you guys just have played a massive part in the identity of this club, I think.
One of the cool things about Austin FC is our songs, our chants.
Yeah.
I think we have probably the strongest chant game in the MLS.
Not bad for year one, right?
Hey, not bad for if it was year 100. You know what I mean? We've got some great chants going on. Is that a collaborative effort? I know it's not just you guys who do that.
Yeah.
But how many people go into making those chants, or is it?
Sure.
Because it sounds like everything that's happened so far has been very much a lot of hands on deck, a lot of community input. La Murga de Austin is kind of a sister organization of ours where we do have some overlap between Los Verdes members and Murga members. But specifically, a few folks, they really started that band right around when the team was announced, almost 3 years ago. They've been practicing and generating song ideas and growing. And I think there are around like 100 people that, they don't all play every game, but around 100 people who will go to practices and give input. And one thing that's really special about it too is you have some people who are professional musicians, and then you have beginners who are like, here, pick up this I wanna
drum.
Be involved. Yeah.
And I think it's really cool that the leaders of the band will, teach anyone who's willing to give it a shot. And
Derek, you're very well connected with these supporter groups. You know everybody there is to know. So I need to make a request of you because I'm not high enough to make this request. I'm going to need some player-specific songs next.
Yeah.
I'm going to need "Walking in a Stuva Wonderland."
Yeah.
And I'm going to need something with Diego where we stretch out the O. That's what I'm going to need.
There is a Diego song actually.
Oh, there is.
But I think it's only been played at the games the last few weeks, and it's hard for the new song to catch on with a lot of people. So during the season, so that's definitely been a challenge. But we have a Diego song to the Frijoles tune, and
is he the first player to get his own song?
Yeah, I think so.
Because that's a big moment.
yeah,
in-
that's right. And
in
I mean,
history.
And it should be him, right?
Yeah.
It'd be either him or Stuver, and I
Yeah.
feel like Diego is such an integral part of this community too.
yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Brad Stewart definitely deserves a song too. The whole stew is great, but he needs something a little more poetic, I think.
Yeah,
than
I had to
just-
explain to my wife. She's like, "Why are they booing him? He saved it. Why are they booing him?" And I was like, "No. This is how we show love.
Yeah.
This is what we do here.
This is a good thing. This is a good thing." But no, this was a blast. We definitely got to do this again. And,
Absolutely.
Well, I want to ask one last
Yeah,
question,
for sure.
Derek. What you talked about all the things that Los Verdes has done. It's clearly growing all the time. All the money raised for charity. What does the future hold?
Yeah,
Great
I mean,
question.
well, when it comes to just supporting the stadium, our dream is that there's flags waving in every section, there's banners in every section, there's people singing along in every section to make it a world-class environment is our dream. You know, that's our soccer focused dream.
so every section is a supporter section.
Every section be a support section. You know, we'll help to lead the way with the Murga, but we definitely want you to be involved. You can check out La Murga's website, lamurgadeaustin.org, or you go to austinfcsongs.com. That'll take you to their songs. You can learn them. There's YouTube videos. They're putting together a
I saw that
Spotify
today.
playlist.
They have, oh, really? A
Yeah.
Spotify playlist?
Yeah. That's in the
cool.
works still. But yeah, they've been recording.
I saw they have the scripts on there where you can actually print out the paper sheets.
Oh,
so
yeah.
when you
Yeah,
go,
yeah.
you can be reading them.
Yeah,
with
we
the-
always bring and hand out a few hundred every week in the supporter section, but it'd be nice if we, go
Yeah.
around all around the stadium. And
Definitely.
so that's the future in the stadium, and the future out of the stadium is connecting more people to the game, that are new fans, and just connecting the community. We want to be a community that's multicultural and it's from all parts of the city, and so, yeah, I mean, we want to find ways to help our community fall in love with the game and help support our community and our people because, we all love Austin,
Yeah. I think that's one of the best parts about Austin FC and about the supporter groups is that it really is an integral part of the whole community. When you think of Austin, now you think of Austin FC. When you think of what Austin represents, you partially think of some of the things that Austin FC represents. It's very ingrained in our community. And a big part of that, I think, is the supporter groups like y'all and like the other ones out there that are really taking the lead and making Austin FC really special to this community because it is. It's the only pro team. It's going to be the only pro team for a while. And even if another one comes, it's going to have a lot to live up to with Austin FC here now.
And Derek, you've told us so much. You've got to give us a plug as well. Where can we find out more information? This is your time.
Thank you. Yeah, follow Los Verdes ATX on all the social media. And check out losverdesatx.org. You can get a membership on our website, which comes with this scarf, a pin, koozie, some stickers, and gets you invited to the Slack channel where you can talk about anything you want and connect with people and yeah, so yeah, just follow us and feel free to reach out. And we want your ideas, we want your passion, and we want to get to know everybody. So
Well, after you become a member of Los Verdes after this episode, make sure you follow us on YouTube and you go on KXAN.
there you go.
And we'll see y'all on
This
the
is
next
like this
episode.
is like the Final Whistle ATX facial hair edition.
Oh yeah.
We're missing our buddy
Now
Nick.
that-
We're missing our
exactly.
buddy Nick this week, but the facial hair game has gone to another level. So
I'm not mad about it. Either. I'm not mad about it. Cheers, Nick. We love you. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.
All
Anyways,
right.
see
Thanks
y'all
so
next
much,
episode.
guys. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.